Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Radio Show, a once proud member of the now defunct Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. We have Adrian Miller as co-host alongside Star Day. Artie Hoffman is on the phone to give us some spiritual advice. Star moves to Phoenix and Jen quits nursing school. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter. Or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. Or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Really, what happened there?
I have
much
no
less
idea.
than 10 seconds, Patrick. That was like no seconds. Yeah.
That TV
Yeah,
is.
Star's just looking at the pretty colors. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my co-host, Adrian Miller.
Hello?
And somebody.
Yeah.
Star
Bonjour,
Day.
mon
Who's
ami.
somebody. Huh?
Bonjour, mon ami.
Say what? How's it going? We're waiting for a call from Artie Hoffman, which should be a lot of fun. So we can get some advice on our love life.
What love life?
Or
Lack thereof.
Lack thereof. Yes.
That's the only love life I got.
Oh, God. Never mind.
Not anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Try out the poop bucket. That's what.
Look, I've seen enough Hoarders episodes to know not to do that.
Do you watch Hoarders?
I do.
could never watch that.
I watch
It's
it
just-
regularly, actually.
Because
It's my
I
Sunday
lived
routine.
with one, so it was kind of hard to, it was too close to
Well, I
reality.
was gonna say,
TV
literally
shows.
too close to
Yeah.
home.
Yes, exactly. I still got crap I got to get out of there.
Well, I'm surprised it didn't come to your house then. A lot of them actually are shot in Ohio.
I can see that.
Yeah, that was coming here to Wright State. They're like, well, a lot of our graduates, our fine graduates, graduate to work on the cruise for Hoarders.
Really?
That was one of the big gigs you could look forward to pay off your student loans.
From Wright State.
Yeah,
that's
Wright State. You graduate to
Awesome.
Hoarders.
Yeah, there you go. From whatever this to Hoarders.
Can I just accuse the colleges of being hoarders themselves for racking on so much student debt on the students?
Well, I would say in that case, it's the students that are hoarding the student debt. Yeah, the university is hoarding debt of its own. It's
Depends
not
on how you
hoarding
look
money.
at it, but yeah.
It's hemorrhaging that.
yeah.
We're hoarding
That's why
the
I
debt.
can't pay
They're hoarding
people
the money.
enough, and everybody has to go on strike. I think the students should go out on strike. That's what I think. Just not pay their tuition.
Tom said, Tom suggested that the student employees should get unionized, which I didn't think that was a thing that you could do.
Oh yeah, I think anybody can, so long as you get.
As long as you get legal
Yeah,
representation.
exactly. But yeah, that's. I'm not talking about the university anymore because we will get kicked off the air. I already think that's why they're trying to come up with that new rule you just told me about, Patrick.
Yeah,
They're trying to come up with a new rule that non-students cannot have a radio show even with a producer. So
that the university is the directors are trying to fight it right now.
Right.
Because our top 2 out of 3 shows are made by non-students.
Right, isn't that great? Let's get
amazing.
rid of them, Patrick. We don't
Yeah.
we don't need that. Because
And their argument.
if we don't have any non-students with their own shows, we won't have any in the top 3, and that'll make our students feel better. Less competition, but they'll be there.
Their argument is that by not allowing non-student staff shows, that frees up time slots for student staff radio shows. Time slots that are already there right
that are
now.
already open
Yeah, I was
because you've
gonna
only got
say.
like 20% of the airtime that's actually covered by a
20%.
show.
Yeah,
Isn't
about
that like 20%?
20 to 20. If you don't count the sports broadcasts, I would say more like 18%.
Right. See, there you go. There's plenty of time for students to get on the radio here. And but hey, I don't care one way or another. I'm good. I will survive. The life goes on. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it dies. Maybe I just killed it right there. I was hoping it would go on, but thank you, Star. You let me know I have crushed the life out of it.
You are most
Yes.
welcome.
I think that it's a bit ominous that you have the titles like The Life. 106.9. It's like an expiration date.
Right?
Yeah, we got to answer this call before it
Yep,
transfers.
we got to answer this call before it transfers over. Hey,
Hey, what's going on, sir?
hey, is this Artie? This is a live radio show.
Oh, that is awesome.
All good, because this is who you're calling, wasn't it?
I am ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. It's good to have you back on, because this is the live version now. You were on a pre-recorded version earlier.
Oh, okay.
So this,
All right,
we're
cool.
we're live over the air, so you can't cuss as much.
All right. I'll try really hard to hold back.
All right, hold on.
I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll try.
Okay, as long as you try, because I try every time I'm in here.
Okay.
to get away with profanity, and Patrick won't let me.
And then I contribute to the cause.
Exactly.
There's long stretches of just beep.
So,
You're like, someone died?
Artie Hoffman is on the air with us. Artie Hoffman is a psychic, medium, spiritual advisor. What else? You're a little bit of everything.
I'm a spiritual smorgasbord.
So go ahead.
No, it's just that when I'm as an advisor, people could literally ask me about any questions whatsoever, and there's no limitations. It's like I've given people medical advice, and I didn't go to Yale or Harvard. I've told people medical advice on their pets. I've told people medical advice on themselves. I give people legal advice. I'm no doctor. I'm no lawyer. I didn't go to college, but you want to know something? The angels seem to give me all the right answers when it comes to stuff like that.
There you go. Well, that's good then. That's good.
It's good they give the right answers and they're not like, well, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it could be a kidney problem. It could be you're just a little dehydrated.
Nope,
and you're
it's
like, that's
cancer.
not helpful, Angel.
My favorite TV commercial of all times is the one that was just out not too long ago, where the surgeon, I think it's a Geico commercial. I think it's where the surgeon walks into in the hospital room and the guy's lying there really nervous, and he goes, "Hey, you nervous?" He goes, "Yeah, a little bit." He goes, "Yeah, so am I, but don't worry, we'll figure it out."
That is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite commercials of all time. When the surgeon says, "Yeah, I'm a little nervous too. Don't worry, we'll figure it out."
Yeah. He could have used some
like
advice.
Being a guinea pig. That's like being a guinea pig for a surgeon.
Right.
What was it like when you first got started as a psychic? I know it was like 25 some years ago. Was it a bit like that, like being a surgeon, being like, well, we're going to do this for real. Hopefully we're good.
Let me tell you something. Every single time I've given advice at the beginning of my career, I only pray like hell that I was even close to being right. And then people would call me up and email me and tell me how accurate my thoughts were, my messages were. And, I take nothing for granted, and when the messages come, I just share it. And, when it comes to sports, I suck. I totally suck with the sports world. I mean, I honestly thought that San Francisco was going to win on the over, and it was Kansas City on the under.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to sports and gambling like that, that's not my forte. But I have given out winning lottery numbers in gambling situations when it pulls through me spiritually. So if I'm communicating, say, to a deceased loved one, or I'm giving you a reading, and then all of a sudden I'll get something intuitively, then I'll share that type of information with somebody. And I've given out over 80 winning lottery numbers in winning situations. But when people just outright ask me for numbers or who's going to win, it's like, I don't know. It's like I just can't do it. But spiritually,
so we need to talk to you.
Through.
We need to talk to you as often as possible, just in hopes that someday that comes up.
Hey, Artie, you get anything? You get anything?
A string of numbers.
Yep, I'm going to call you every day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about my love life. I'm just wondering if you see any lottery numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can tell me about my love life, but I'll probably have better luck with the lottery.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
You said
there you go.
you have on your website that you're a real Jersey guy.
I really am, yeah. Born and bred born and bred Jersey guy, absolutely. And I make no bones about it. And, I love New Jersey. I really do. New Jersey offers so much.
Mm-hmm.
If people were to actually experience going throughout all of New Jersey, and not just for the industrial part, but New Jersey is a gorgeous state. I mean,
Yeah.
you have everything. You got the beaches, you got skiing, you got the malls, you got Atlantic City, New York City's right next to us. I mean, literally, you got so much here in New Jersey, and I love the changing of the seasons and everything. And it's an awesome state. I really love it. But I am a Jersey guy through and through, and I don't know if I'm ever going to move out. I mean, I might get another house on top of moving elsewhere out of New Jersey, but I'll probably always have a house in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's good. I've never been there. I have to get there.
I've been to
sometime.
Teaneck. I really, my mom, she would do like a skating camp and that sort of thing. They have a huge Olympic training rink, I think.
Oh,
in
really?
Teaneck, yeah. And so we would, all crash in her hotel room because she was going to pay for that anyway. So any family that wanted to go out, like, hey kids, you want to carpool? And she doesn't talk like that. She literally was on this show yesterday, but this time that's what I'm going with. Hey kids.
I was going to say, don't remember your mom sounding like that.
You want to come into the car and help me drive out to New York?
I like that voice for her. It's nice.
And they were like, I'm like, sure, like a
Is-
cheap trip to New York. Let's go. And
So
then you just take the bus.
is anybody brave enough to ask Artie any questions about their love life? Is it?
I'm fine with it. If you want to,
What-
tell
what-
me how it's going to crash and burn, how this one's going to go down in flames.
Yeah, it's always good to know that in advance.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Start forming a plan.
Yeah, just wear one of those anti-flammable jumpsuits going down.
Hey,
As
I
you're
love
going
special
down with the
effects. I'll get a
Zeppelin.
bucket of the gel, the
there you go.
to set myself on fire. I'll just be instead of moisturizer, I'll just have that like anti-fire gel. My boyfriend would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Just in case."
getting
I'm just
ready.
prepping.
Just in case. I had an interesting conversation with a psychic. Just in case.
That's right, honey. Why are you sleeping in the other room tonight? Just in case.
Yep.
Are we okay? Are we okay? People, it's funny. People always say, "Who do you see for me in my love life?" And these are people who don't go anywhere. They go from work to home, work to home. They don't go out. They're asked to go out. If they want to go out, they say no. They don't go anywhere
Yep.
outside of their
Yep.
responsibilities. And then they want to know if there's anybody in their love life. And then you have these mothers who are so into their children, and their whole life, again, is work, home, children, work, home, children. Do you see somebody coming into my love life? It's like people don't even make the effort or make the room to have
Yeah.
people in their
Right.
love
Right.
life. And they're looking for miracles to happen. and so what I tell people is that, you know what? You're looking for a relationship of convenience. You just want somebody there at your convenience,
Yeah.
like when you're lonely or when, you need money or you need this or need that.
Right,
It's like,
right.
but you gotta open yourself up. And, people are afraid to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid to be vulnerable. And then they say, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to do the internet thing. And, and then a lot of times when women come in, when women come in to see me for a reading and they want to know about their love life, and I look at them, and I don't say this to all women, but I say it to a lot of them, and I look at them in their eyes and said, I just want you to know, not all men suck,
Some of them need those reminders every now and then.
Some of them do the reverse.
But
I was
And
going
then
to say, do
and
you
then
ever say
and
what
then
I
they
see
look
in
at
your
me.
love life is macaque?
And then they look at me, how did you know? I just said that with my best friend. We were saying, oh, I'm not dating anymore. All men suck.
yeah. That's,
It's like, no, it's not that way. Just,
No.
drink a little and everybody will be great.
just to let you know and introduce you to everybody that's in the room,
yeah,
we
yeah.
have my producer Patrick over here.
If you hear
Patrick's
crinkling
single,
of
I believe.
packaging, that's Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick's
What do we
single,
got?
I believe,
What do we
I'm
got?
far away from the microphone so you can't hear it.
because he's eating
sorry,
Cheez-Its.
sorry to rat you out.
Yeah.
He's eating some Cheez-Its.
Adrian Miller is my co-host. I
Hello,
believe you're the
hello.
only one in the room that's in a relationship.
Oh, am I?
Well, I don't know. I have to check and see who's listening before I say that. Like, who was that? Was that Mitch Hedberg that says, I don't have a girlfriend, I just know a woman that'll get really mad when she hears me say that? And our other guest in here is Star Day. So that's the whole panel we have today.
I should warn you, Star Day brought her tarot cards.
Oh, really?
Tarot. I pronounce it wrong, so I just know whatever my instinct is, it's wrong. I own 2 decks, and I cannot pronounce it.
So now
like carrot. I just say tarot cards. When
tarot.
They say tarot, it's like I can't relate to tarot. What's the T silent? It's like the tarot cards. That's the way I pronounce it.
Well, that's the thing. I see it and I think French, and then I'm like really confused when I look at it, and I think I have different dialects like arguing with themselves in my head, and then just something comes out.
So now you know who you're working with, and most of us are single. And
I'm a comic, so who knows?
Single-ish. Yeah.
My boyfriend will hate me. I'm in the Mitch Hedberg camp here.
Right.
Well, I got a really good one for you. So I was talking to my cousin not too long ago, and he's 70 years old. And, I don't speak to him much, not for any reason. We get along great. It's just we're in 2 different worlds. And so he goes like this to me, and now mind you, he's like about 70 years old. And he goes, Art, Sue and I, Sue's his wife, he goes, we have sex almost every night. I go, really? Almost every night? He goes, yeah, almost Monday, almost Tuesday.
Yeah, really close. Really close.
Almost, but no cigar.
So let me ask, with the ability that you have, do you find that it is more prevalent when you're one-on-one or when you're out in public? Do you have to kind of put the walls up to not feel or pick up on what's going on around you?
Well, of course, when I'm in a session with somebody and I'm doing psychic work, I prefer one-on-one. If there's a group of people, I just have to hold their hand and close my eyes so I can just focus on their energy. Doing it over the phone is just as easy as doing it in person. Being that there's a lot of you, I might be thinking I'm connecting to you, but I could be connecting to one of the other people also who's in your room. But a lot of times when I'm giving people information, and I feel like I'm talking about themselves, but it's not actually, I didn't talk about them. The information I gave them happened to be about their partner or about their kid, and a lot of times I'll read people through people and, unbeknownst to me. And then I have to reread them again and try to really focus on the energy. But when I get information on your friend or your lover or somebody who's close to you, who you're subconsciously really worried or concerned about, I'm going to pick up on that person and I'll tell you stuff about them even when we think we're trying to connect to you. So I always tell people, if you can't relate to what I'm saying, sometimes it doesn't happen until days, weeks, or months later. Either this, or I might be connecting to somebody who you're very close to, and then people are allowed to ask me any specific questions they want. And the more specific the question, the more specific the answer.
Okay. Do we have any questions? Is anybody brave enough to?
I mean, I don't know that I have any actual questions. It's, I understand the whole feeling energy and thing. Like, I can tell that you're attempting to connect with people in the room because I can feel that energy swell, which is interesting to feel. I don't know. I've actually, with my dad is pretty much on my mind right now. He's been in and out of the emergency room this past week a couple of times. And they can't really pinpoint what's going on with him. So I've been really worried about him and not sure if there's something going on there that we need to know about or if they're just not going to find anything. He's in his 70s, so.
All right, that's fine. What is your dad's full name?
Dennis Fred Day.
Dennis what?
Fred Day.
Fred Day. Dennis Fred Day. Hold on a second. So right now I'm just shuffling cards. See, but I have tarot cards in my hand, but I don't know how to read them. But when I shuffle them, it just automatically brings images into my head.
Yep.
And that's what they do for me. When I flip cards, people say, "Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean?" I'll say, "Damned if I know." But as I'm flipping the cards, it just puts me in an altered state. So right now I'm just trying to focus in on your dad. And I'm getting I feel like there's something within his blood. There's like low platelets in his blood, or there's he might be anemic, but there's something where there's certain numbers that are low within his blood, whether it be the red or the white, is what I'm getting. They're going to find out something really, really soon with him. And I don't feel like it's just something light. I don't wish anything bad upon your dad at all, mind you. I'm just telling you my gut instinct. Hold on a second. What they're going to find out, and this might be when he goes to the bathroom is when they're going to realize by his samples when something, that's when they're going to be able to tell what's what, believe it or not. It has to do with his intestinals, with him going to the bathroom. It has to do with the blood. This is what's going on, but he needs to get his blood tested. And I'm getting something about, like I said, being anemic but also I'm seeing issues wrong with him with his bowel movements or stuff. I don't know if these symptoms are ringing right now to your knowledge.
Yeah, actually. They actually did blood work a couple of days ago and they sent it out and they haven't gotten it back yet. So.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be seeing his blood levels off. Something about what is that? I don't understand it all. I don't know if it's the platelets or blood sugars. I don't know. It's just off. But the cause and effect is his bowel movement is what, and his stomach hurts on and off. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not so bad. So, but if I was him, I would definitely lay off of all dairy products.
Cool. I'll have to tell him.
Yeah, and that's not coming from Marcus Welby.
No, I get it.
To be fair, we're not supposed to be eating dairy products, at least not from cows as humans.
Well, yeah, they're a main producer, though,
Yeah.
But hold on a second. I would tell them to beef up on the Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch.
Just without the milk.
Without the milk.
Without the milk, yeah. Well, that's how I eat my cereal.
Right.
I don't put milk in my cereal because I can't digest milk. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, okay.
So
You don't even
See, that's
substitute
not-
like a almond
And when I
milk
said
or-
that with the milk, remember I was just telling you, I could be very well picking up on you with the lactose intolerance and stuff.
right.
But this is something that he might have also. So, but anemic. What is that? Anemic? Do you know? I'm curious.
When you're anemic, my sister was anemic. It's you're not producing high enough red counts, I believe it is, in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that might be the cause with your dad too.
That would explain the rash that he can't get rid of too.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that that's what that is. Tell him to take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
And eat an apple.
Right. Eat an apple.
Yeah.
It's bulking season.
And after all, yeah, those healthy sugars.
Right.
Yeah, so when you walk into the room tomorrow and the doctors are standing around him and say, Dad, these doctors don't know what they're telling you about. I talked to this psychic. You got to listen to this psychic, all right?
Yep.
Get
He knows.
real.
He knows.
Get real with life.
Yep. Yep. Get a hold of Dr. Artie.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, these Harvard students have no freaking clue, Dad. Just listen to this psychic with no college education. He knows what he's talking about.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, and I've done that with, other family members and stuff. I'm partially empathic, which I learned to shut down when I was really young because it's very overwhelming. That's why I asked about putting walls up when you're out in public and stuff, because I feel like you'd have a bombardment from the people trying to give you information about what's going on around you and stuff out in public like that. So
When I'm out in public, I'm just like everybody else. I am off. My spiritual modes are off when I'm out in public because I really don't want to be concerned with anybody else's BS, all their problems. And I say my prayers every day for protection. So I could walk around and just be myself and worry about myself. I don't care. But when I want to turn it on the dime, the angels give me answers instantly. Like a lot of times when I go to a restaurant, if I have a cool waiter or waitress, I'll say, "Give me your hand." They go, "What? Just give me your hand." And then I'll say, "I'm not going to promise you anything." And they go, "What are you talking about?" And then my friend or my date, whoever I'm with at that time, will say, "Oh, well, he's psychic." And then I'll give them a quick blurb of whatever it is I get from holding their hand. And they go, "Holy shit, dude, how did you know that?" That's exactly what I'm going through.
Right.
So it's like when I want to turn it on, I'll turn it on. But on the most part, I'm off because it's none of my business. If you want to see a really, really cool, funny movie, see the movie Ghost Town.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, and it's a great, funny movie.
Yeah.
And also, Life or Something Like It. That's another great, funny movie.
I think I've seen that.
And I promise you, you're really going to enjoy those two movies.
All right. Well, we're going to have to take our quick half of the hour break right now. Half of the hour.
Half of the hour.
Half of the second hour.
It's half of the hour. Yeah. This is that half. We're halfway through. Sometimes you have to explain these things. All right, we're going to take a short break for just a few minutes, and we'll come back and we'll talk more. And if anybody else has questions, because it's coming up on Valentine's Day, and most of us are lonely, Adrian. I mean, you're the only one.
I don't know. My boyfriend's a little upset that I booked something on Valentine's Day, so
who knows?
every day.
Who knows? That might be a good question to ask.
Oh, what will we be doing for Valentine's Day? Oh, that's right. You'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
As I said, that's the only D you're getting that day.
All right. Stick around. We'll be right back. Stick around, Artie. We'll be right back with you. We're going to play. This is going to be Mr. Stone King. I Was Made for Loving You.
Appropriate.
Perfect.
Hit it, Patrick.
I wanna give it all to you. In the darkness, there's so much I wanna do. And tonight, I wanna lay it at your feet, because I was made for you. I wanna see it in your eyes. Feel the magic. It's something that drives me wild. And tonight, we're gonna make it all come true. Because you were made for me. And I was made for you. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can't get enough of you, baby. Can you get enough of me? I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can give it all to you, baby. Can you give it all to me? I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can't get enough of you.
I was talking to this one woman for a little while, and like, this is just not code for anything. I don't do good, obviously. You've seen me up here, right? You hear me talk? Like, she's like, I'm still friends with 85% of my ex-boyfriends. And all I could think is 85% requires a divisor of at least 20. That is as far as you can break that fraction down right there. It's like 17 over 20, 85%. What if she meant like 34 out of 40 or 153 boyfriends out of 180? I don't care how you break it down. She's had way too many dudes in her denominator.
Hey, this is Don Smith from the Life Radio Show. Do you like telling jokes? Are you the class clown? Do your friends always tell you you're funny? You want to prove them wrong? Well, nearly every Sunday, Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's Oregon District brings you Wiley's Sunday Comics. You can be the one on stage making people laugh. Or not. All you have to do is send an email to WileySundayComics@gmail.com and follow the instructions in the reply email, and you can tell jokes at Ohio's oldest comedy club.
Hi, this is Haywood Banks at Wiley's Comedy Club in Dayton, and you're listening to the Life Radio Show at WWSU, Dayton's Right Choice.
All right.
What a great way to
right
return.
Back to the squeak. Awesome. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. Your host, Don Smith. They're at the end of the break. Haywood Banks coming back to Wiley's, 3 weeks? 3 weeks from now?
I think it's 3.
Yeah,
I'd have to look.
because this week's the Parents' Night Out. Next week is Tim Cavanaugh. The week after that is Haywood Banks.
Yeah.
So that was 2 great weekends. 3 great weekends. 4 great.
4 great weekends.
They're all great weekends at
They
Wiley's.
are.
Come out to a show. This is your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my co-host, Adrian Miller. Also sitting in with Star
Hello.
Day. Patrick's still with us. Artie, are you still with us on the phone?
Hello there, oh you beautiful people.
All right. He's here. He's still here. All right. We were discussing during the break. Were you able to hear any of what we were discussing?
Only all of it.
Perfect.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You only
that's all right.
85% of it.
Right. Well, I was in the restroom, so I didn't. I hope you weren't hearing me.
No, go ahead. Take a load off your mind.
And we're back to the poop jokes.
We don't get too far from them on this show.
I don't know. That's a different kind of joke.
Now, Star had mentioned during the break that she's getting ready to go on the dating game show.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you say Lori Graves was putting that on? So yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about that, or you want to ask if that's going to do any good?
I don't know. I kind of just signed up for fun because she has she does a couple of them a year, different ones like the match game, the dating game, and that kind of stuff. And so she'd put it out there, and I signed up and got selected to go on. So now I'm kind of curious what might happen when I go on there.
So
what I'm getting is that one of you, because I'm hearing all your voices, so I'm not sure which energy I'm connecting to, but one of you is going to end up dating somebody who is from a multiple birth, whether they be twins or triplets.
That's all you've done.
All me? I'll date twins.
I was going to say, are you talking like you're dating all of the twins or just one of them?
Yeah.
That'd be a little weird, Patrick.
Yeah, one at a time. That wouldn't be weird. That would be lucky.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why it would be weird. I'm not that lucky.
That's right. It's weird that you would be that kind of lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's clearly not me.
Yeah. And also, one of you, within a very short period of time, one of you is going to end up reconnecting with a friend who you haven't seen in like many years, like 10 plus years. So that's going to happen real soon also, whether you just bump into them or someone's going to reconnect with you. But I would say within less than a month's time, it could happen within a day or two. But in a very short period of time, one of you is going to be reconnecting or seeing somebody who you haven't seen in mega years. So, and it will be a lot of fun when you do see each other, when you do connect.
I think it's time to place bets on who that is.
Yeah, we'll have to keep everybody updated each week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have
to do a vlog series.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, nobody has reached out to me on Facebook. Apparently, they all think I'm dead and that I'm no longer alive. I decided to reach out into the universe, and they're like, "Oh man, I thought you were dead," and you're like, "No, I'm still here."
It's funny you mention that because
But no one reconnected.
Yeah, people only thought I was dead for insurance purposes.
get quite a bit of
And
money
they still
out of
haven't caught me. And they still haven't caught me or found out about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not my real name.
Do you know how often
all an
people say
alien.
that to me? Is that your real name? Yes, my name is Star. I promise. That's my real name. No, I'm not a stripper.
Questions?
No, I don't waitress.
So out of curiosity, would you be able to take questions from anybody that's listening through the live feed here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want us to read their name out to you as well if they ask a question
Yeah.
so that you could connect?
Yeah, if I could at least even have a first name and then ask a question, and I'll give them the answer.
Okay,
Just the first name?
So yes, Susie.
That's all I need is the first name.
Susie. All right, so we
She just
need,
asked. Yes,
Yes.
we're just waiting for questions
Yeah.
now.
I guess
the
I
plot,
can.
plot twist. That was the question she
Right,
wanted
that
to
was
ask.
the only question.
I guess I
Yeah.
can ask a question. Maybe this is too general, but is my family life about to get more complicated or less complicated in the next year or so?
Actually, so long as the communication is open and you're really honest, no. If you just all of you guys like kind of just play your own game and really don't make a conscientious effort to connect, then it's going to get, the tension's going to get thicker and thicker. So never assume things about other people, because most of the time the general public is wrong when people assume things about other people. But so long as you're keeping your honesty and your communication open with each other, then it's going to be much, much better. It's actually going to get better as the year goes on rather than worse. But if you just keep on a shutdown, lockdown with your thoughts and emotions, then it's really going to be very difficult to be around each other.
How about any
So
stock market tips? Do you have any stock market tips?
We do have a question from a listener.
Okay.
Jennifer Dietrich wants to know if she will finally get into the nursing program or should she change her major?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. All right. Hold on just a second. Let me see. And her name was Jennifer?
Jennifer,
Yeah.
yes.
Is she going to go into the nursing program?
Yeah, or should she change her major? We got another similar question from
Yes.
another person.
We have nurses.
Actually, I'm actually getting that she should explore different options. I'm getting that what she's going for, it's not going to meet up to her expectations, and that it would actually be better if she was to explore a different option.
Should she explore a different option among the medical field, or should she completely go somewhere else?
The medical field.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The medical field, just not exactly what she's doing now. What's going to happen is that probably about 2/3 to 3/4 of her education, she's going to realize that this is not what she wants, and actually, she might even consider at some point working with animals and not people.
Interesting.
Well, she works with me. That's close.
So there you have it.
Susie has a similar question. Will I be an RN for the rest of my career?
We have a lot of nurses listening in, a lot of medical people listening in.
Gotcha. What's the name of this person?
Susie.
The first name?
Susie.
Is she going to be an RN for the rest? Yes, she's going to be an RN for the rest of her career. Yes, absolutely. And it would be foolish for her to change, and because her life will only get more difficult if she tries to switch now. It's just tolerate it. Just tolerate it. You know, the politics of the health system really sucks, just like the education system.
Yeah.
But as far as financially and all, I feel like this person just needs to do better things for herself, more on a personal note than her career. And I feel like that's where her imbalance is, as far as doing things that make her personally happy rather than just, getting more worried about it. Her job is her job, and it's not going anywhere, and it will give her security for the rest of her life. So that's a great thing. So don't take that for granted. But I feel like she just needs more personal fulfillment, not so much within her career, but in her personal life, and that's where she's lacking.
All right.
And as far as stock tips go, I have two really good stock tips for you, and that's Roku and Starbucks.
Wait, so I have a
Which
question.
is funny because I just bought 2 Roku TVs like 2 days ago.
But not
well,
stock.
you're going to end up doing very well with it.
I think they're definitely going to do well with streaming wars because everybody's going to have multiple apps now.
Yep.
So it's something that's in a neutral party, a third party territory to keep them up to date. Because Apple isn't going to try to keep Netflix up to date.
Yeah.
Let's be honest on their thing. They're going to be like, yeah, we kind of put something on there.
Yeah.
It's.
No, when they start losing ground, you're going to see their tech people are going to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're just still riding the wave of how things always used to be. But not until they're forced to, then they'll start to change. And you'll see that Apple will really kick in again.
Yeah.
And I'm just picking that up intuitively. But right now, they're just trying to sustain what they got as it is for the now. But as other companies really start rising and above, Apple's going to kick it into high gear. Then you're going to see new programs, new systems coming in from Apple, and they're going to be kick-ass again.
Wait for that.
Awesome. Now, did Star have a question again?
I actually have another question. I have been for probably the past couple of years now thinking about moving out of Ohio once my daughter graduates high school. And I'm not sure if that would be a good idea for me or if, me moving somewhere where I don't know anybody would be worth it for me. Or do I need to stay here?
So long as you have your career base solid to where you're moving, then you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine moving out of state. But so long as your career you keep yourself grounded financially, then your move will be great. If you're just winging it with everything, then it's going to be a living hell.
Interesting.
So you want to make sure that you got yourself grounded before you actually move to a particular area. A really good words of advice that I want to give to you, which I tell everybody, and I'm going to share it with you too, is that when you want to make a big time move to a different state or a totally different location, rather than selling everything you got and give up everything you got, move to that area for about a month or 2 months without getting rid of all what you got and see and feel the area. Is this what you really want? Because if you just go there for a week to 10 days or 2 weeks, it's like a vacation. But if you're going there for a month or two, without selling, just rent someplace for a month or two. And then you'll be able to tell, is this for me? Or, it's just better to do it that way than just kind of figure it out as you go along. That's not the smart move. At least for you, it's not.
Right. That's interesting. My old boss lives in Phoenix, and she told me I could come out there and stay with her for a little while to see if I liked it, and I can transfer my job out there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That would be good, but I'm just telling you, you want to be there for at least a month and let her know that. A week or two, it's a vacation, and it's like you're visiting someone.
Yeah.
So it's like all the accommodation and everything. So you want to see what's really around there and within your price range and socially, because it's not like you're going to spend every single day with her and you're living at her house every single day.
Right.
So it's kind of almost like a little mini vacation. So you want to see what the social life is like and what your affordability is, and you'll be able to put 2 and 2 together after a month's time of being there. So, it's great that she offered her place, but like I said, you got to go there not just for the sake of vacation, but for the sake of a purpose. So,
Right. Her and I had that discussion, and she said, come out here for, month or so, see what you think about the area, what you can find, where you can go. So we actually had that full discussion already when we talked about it. So
have you
Probably-
spent much time out in the Southwest?
no, I just went out of Ohio.
I was going to say
But I'm
probably
also-
a month in August.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, when it's the
Yeah.
killer heat and all that.
See,
Yeah.
see how you feel then.
Yeah.
Because go now would
yeah,
be
that's
like,
like
oh,
if you
this
can
is so
make
nice.
it during that time, then yeah. But what I'm getting also is that you guys are, she'll be there for you, but it's not going to be as super tight when you move out there. You're going to end up doing your thing. She's going to end up doing her thing, and you'll connect, but it's not going to be like, Chippendale, like two freaking fracks being like that super, super close all the time. She's going
Right.
to have her life. You're going to have yours. And so
Running
you
around with
gotta
no
kind of-
pants.
Yeah,
real
so-
Chippendale adventures.
Right. Yeah, not
Exactly.
Thelma
So-
and Louise, because there's this big canyon out there too.
Yeah, don't
you
have
don't.
those
Yeah, you
kind
don't
of
want to go
adventures.
that way.
That's not the dynamic duo you want to be modeling your fun after.
Yeah, it's not like next year you're going to be saying, "Will you be my Valentine?"
I don't have one of those ever
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And why not?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
because I've
Yeah,
been
that's-
divorced twice. Like, I don't want to go through all that again.
But if
So,
you
same
go out
here.
for a month, get on one of the dating apps and see what the pickings
Pickings
are.
are, yeah.
Yeah, see
I
what
think
the
that's
I haven't had very
Pickings
good luck
are.
with the online dating apps, but
Yeah.
like in Dayton, it can be a bit.
I had a guy
Bit
specifically
dicey.
message me to tell me I was a man. And I was like,
What?
you took time out of your day to send me that message? Like,
Maybe he was hopeful,
Curious
and hopeful. He was.
Maybe he took it too seriously. Like sometimes they advise people like have a real eye catching opening message, something
Right.
that really
Right.
stops them in their tracks.
No, it stopped me in my
You'd be
tracks,
like,
all right?
What?
Like, I don't struggle enough with my self-esteem.
Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of guys who do what I do happen to be gay. So a lot of people wonder if I'm gay or not. I'm not gay. I've been married a couple of times myself. But I do tell people I'm a lesbian because I only like women.
I think that's how it works, isn't it? No, I've spent some time in the Southwest. It's beautiful out
It is
there. I don't
beautiful
know
out
if I
there.
could move there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a difference between, it's like, it's nice. It's like you bring a kid to Disney World and they'll love the atmosphere of Orlando for a while. But
Right.
there's a difference between living there
Right.
and visiting there. There's a big difference. And you'll know within a month or so whether if it's for you or not. And I do feel like you're going to get a place probably within a couple of miles of where your, friend lives out there or your boss or whoever. But it's going to be like within a couple of miles. But your atmosphere of where she's living and where you're living is going to be completely different. So, it's just a matter of, is this good enough for you?
Right.
Is this good enough for you? But like I said, as you start to get more settled, you're not going to be as like in each other's face as you might think you are.
Right.
because
And I
you'll
would
be finding a comedy club out there anyway.
Well, yeah. You all have to come with me.
Oh, you're moving the whole.
I'll just
Dayton
move the whole comedy scene with
to
me.
Phoenix. I think that would surprise your friend when we all showed up. Because we're comedians, we're all going to need a place to crash.
That's right. Yep, that's right. As a comedian, as you're moving out there, yes, I'm a single female looking for 5 roommates.
I could probably get a couple.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. A lot of comics
Looking
need a
to
place
share
to change.
expenses with 5 people. If there's anybody out there.
Well, it's comics. There won't be any shared expenses.
They'll all be living off me. That's how it goes.
That's why you were married twice. So anything else, or where
But
are we?
as far as overall, like I said, moving out there, so long as you got yourself grounded financially out there, that's going to be like 75-80% of your comfortableness. The rest you'll be able to manage out there, and I think I personally feel like you'll be okay. But you definitely need to get yourself emotionally grounded based with your finances. Everything after that will fall into place. So, but you don't want to go out there just kind of winging it. You
Right.
want to, and you also want to know what the social ground is like. Also, find out in the communities what's going on around, and are these people like your kind of people? So there's going to be a
Again,
little,
dating apps.
Yeah.
The surest way to figure out, are these people my people?
Well, see, like
That's
I've
right.
kind of found my people here, so it's
Yeah,
kind of, you
Well,
know.
I mean, Don's offer still stands. You can just pick up a piece of Dayton and move it with you. Bring
We'll
your
move the
own
whole
posse.
club. We'll move the whole club out there.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be wild if you go out to Phoenix to find out the first 5 people you meet out there are from Ohio?
It happens all.
that happens, yeah.
I would run into somebody out there that I know aside from the person that has told me I could stay with her, because according to everybody I know people everywhere. Like I can't
Oh,
go
yeah.
anywhere and not run into somebody I know.
Yeah, it happens.
I find Dayton is the biggest small town I've ever belonged to because I was in like Brooklyn or something, and some guy selling water in the street, and he's like, "You're from Dayton?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I went to Wright State."
Yeah, we were in Florida
Again,
and
Wright State.
we were in
Where do
Florida
you end
and,
up? Selling
right,
water.
selling water.
on a street in Brooklyn.
We went to Florida and our waiter was from Kettering.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly. It's like
ridiculous.
What?
I've run into that. I was on a sunset cruise once out off of where is it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That way.
there, the island, Key West.
Key West. Okay.
And
I was like, Cincinnati? This
ran
is
into
not a very
people,
impressive
ran
story.
into people from like Columbus, so,
Right,
yeah.
it's-
and
yeah.
partied with them all
Yeah.
night.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It
That's
was
what you
fun.
need to do.
Yeah.
We do have another question from Susie. Says she's never been married. Will it happen? Not even sure I want to be. I'm guessing no. If she
Does she want to get, are you asking me the question? What's the question again for Susie?
says I've never been married. Will it happen? Not sure I even want to. I think she
No,
answered her own question.
Yeah, integrity, strength.
She says,
No, you know why? And I'm going to tell you why. She's so guarded. She's so guarded. Her defensive heart is much greater than her emotional heart. Like, it's more important for her not to get hurt than it is to allow herself to be vulnerable, because she's been hurt really bad in a previous relationship. And that's why she's never gotten married before, because of her pain from her past. And that's what stopped her. Now, as far as, I apologize. The one who I was talking to in regards to moving to Phoenix, as I was looking at the angel cards, as I was focusing on you, you're actually going to find a love out there, a very strong love interest out in the Phoenix area.
Well, there you go.
so download those dating apps.
Yep.
Stop it with the dating apps.
The phoenix rising from the ashes.
That's what I was
And
thinking.
I actually believe that you're going to meet somebody while you're working. It has to do being connected with your work environment.
Mm.
Interesting.
Well, there you go. There
Office
you go.
romance, delivery guy.
Last time I had an office
Delivery.
romance, I got married.
Pizza delivery guy. You're just going to film
That's
a
why
porn.
you answer the door naked.
Like a chip in jail.
Just don't let him look at your macaque.
Yeah, you'll be hearing her singing the song, "Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Post."
Good benefits. We were talking about retirement plans earlier. I mean,
There you go,
that's
there
what you
you
got to
go.
get. You got to get that person with the pension.
Oh, God.
But I actually see you getting a job, which is the one who does stand-up?
That's me.
Yep.
Okay, because I actually see you that if you started to reach out to cruises and places like that, like vacation resorts or cruises, you would actually get hired in something with that form of entertainment. And if you got connected, allowed yourself to get connected with talent agencies that do book talents to do places like that, you would actually get hired to do that through agencies.
Yeah, that would definitely have to be you, Adrian. I am not clean
Yeah.
enough to do a cruise. I am not a clean enough comic to do a cruise. That's for sure.
He has something on his record we don't know about.
Right.
But if you put your energy out there, that's what you'd end up opening a whole nother world for you. out there,
Nice.
And so that's what I'm seeing. So that'll be up to your discretion whether if you want to go in that avenue or not.
Well, I've always wanted to live on a suitcase.
There you go.
It's actually really ironic because you have an anchor on your shirt right now, too.
I mean, that might be part of it. It might be one of those reading type things where you're like, I see you're wearing a floral shirt with a Hawaiian pattern on it. I've been thinking about signing up with a talent agency, though. I want that sweet, sweet
there you go.
local ad money.
Well, I do know a few that, and between here and Indianapolis and over.
And my boyfriend hires them sometimes when people actually have a budget and actually spend money on advertising, which is,
Yeah.
being a creative. Being a creative.
That is true. That is true. Well, it's the top of the hour, and unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up. But Artie, let people know how to get a hold of you, your website, any social media you want to put out there. That way, if people need Angels and Answers, they can look to you.
Yeah, if you go to artiehoffman.com, I have lots of YouTubes and videos of myself. And if you saw the testimonials of the people who've been nice enough to, say, some kind words to me from their experiences with me. And I don't pay anybody to say it, and I don't even realize who says it. People just voluntarily say these things, and I'm like touched by it. So yes, I am the real deal. I do everything with the white light, and I feel very, very blessed. And or you could email me at artiehoffman@gmail.com or go to artiehoffman.com. And I do phone readings as well as I'm in New Jersey, so I do parties, I do events. So, or if you want to give me a call or text me for a phone reading or FaceTime, I do Skyping also. You can call me at 732-778-7173. And I'm a ride at weddings, funerals, and bar mitzvahs.
Also, make a trip out to New Jersey. It's great.
Yeah.
You won't be disappointed.
No.
I'm telling you. You won't be disappointed. South Jersey and Northwest Jersey is the most beautiful area. It really is.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for having me on. I had a lot of fun. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you. You're awesome yourself. It's great to have you on again. We'll definitely have you back on because there are always folks with answers or questions and no answers
and answers.
If there were folks with answers, we wouldn't have so many questions. I'll get it right one day.
Really quickly, when people say to me, Artie, what do you see for me, with my love life? When is my boyfriend ever going to, ask me to marry him? And I say, well, give me his number and I'll call him up.
Yep. I will never ask you that. No.
Marriage is punishment for shoplifting in some countries.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. It's been great talking to you again. Star, thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure.
Thank you,
Adrian.
So much.
Wonderful as always.
Oh, thank
Patrick,
you, Don.
We love you. Let's get out of here.
Take care, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we are on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. You can also stream the show live at wwsu1069.org, and we go Facebook Live at the Life Radio Show's Facebook page. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence. Whoa!